conversations I've had today, I talked to a primary care person. We had a brief exchange where I basically explained to her that I didn't need people calling me, reminding me of my appointments. And she said something to me. I said, "Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know that the title doctor meant I didn't have professionalism and the ability to run my fucking business without somebody reminding me." Because what I really found interesting is that with this corporate model of medicine, when I actually have the most need, there's only one place I can go. And y'all know what that is, boys and girls. That's what I do for a living. It's called the Almighty Emergency Room. The Almighty Emergency Room. So, you know, I feel like in America we're playing this game. Here's the game. I'm gonna dangle the carrot in front of your face. The carrot looks like water, food, a house, safe place to stay with your good name, and company to spend your days with while you're on the earth. Is that too much to ask? If I'm willing to put in the work to get those things, then by the American credo, I'm supposed to get those things. But here's the rub. Here's the problem in a nutshell. Because of my age of 52, I remember. I remember my friend whose father was the first pediatric surgeon in Atlanta, Georgia, telling me his daddy took care of his patients' primary care problems, surgical problems, and they called him at home. Okay. Now, I'm not a hypocrite. I'm not going to tell you that I practice the kind of medicine where people can just call me any time of the night because I'm not a concierge medicine. I don't have a prescription. I mean, what's it called? Prescription, subscription, prescription, subscription practice. So the time I block off for my family, myself, is guarded, sacred. Nobody's getting it. But because of the lack of the desire in America for people to go into highly technical skills that require extended education, I am seeing a noticeable decrease in my ability to access a physician outside of the emergency room physician when I am at my highest level of need. Now, it gets more complicated than that. I have to state this from this perspective because equality requires that I see both sides of the equation. I mean, people can do extraordinary things like live in a cave and renounce the Western way, and through some miraculous, most likely socialist or communist system, get all their medical care, like I don't know, the monks in Tibet. But I watched a movie today about the Dalai Lama escaping out of Tibet, and I saw a whole lot of dead bodies in that movie. You know, and I saw a whole lot of communists, which probably isn't far from the truth because I doubt the Dalai Lama is going to let a movie get released in his name with a bunch of lies in it. I don't think the Dalai Lama is going to allow that. So most likely the Communist Party was bartering with him for the safety and freedom of his people and his way of life. in exchange for military might, goods, services, access to the mainland, as they thought it was, China, the motherland. Killed a whole lot of monks, dropping rocks from planes, what they said in the movie. Had in the movie, it said they had the nuns and the priests fornicating in the streets of Tibet. And I'm sure they killed a few. I mean, of course. And I'm just saying this so I can talk about my battle with corporate America that goes back. And the whole paradox is that I had to form a corporation to have any honor in my life as a middle-aged African American physician in a predominantly European descendant based system. I had to opt out of a lot of things. I had to say, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. And, I run into the guy I used to work with in the hospital. It's like, oh, yeah, doing well. Just leave it at that, man. Just leave it at that. Because the drama that culminated in me dropping dead on the job and getting resuscitated started with the sacrifices that I made here to start programs when nobody wanted to do it. Because what happens is the doctors that are established, they don't want to start new uncharted territory programs. And when I came here, hospitalist medicine hadn't been tried before at St. Vincent's Hospital. And I was the first one. So I know for a fact I'm the first African American hospitalist, probably in the state of Montana, but for sure Eastern Montana, because I started the program. Okay, so that's easy history for me. Easy peasy breezy. But like I told y'all, I remember the stories from my classmates who now is a neurosurgeon. Shout out Dr. Densler, Dwayne from the ATL, fellow fraternity brother. He said his dad took care of all his patients' needs. They called him at home. They had his home number. And when I say these things now, it sounds like I'm speaking a foreign language because patients don't know what that's like anymore. There's a reason I'm starting a walk-in clinic right down the street, 3 miles from my house. Because I understand. And make no mistake about it, I am in this system as a partaker of its services. I understand your frustrations, okay? I understand your frustration. I take an oath until 5 o'clock hits. Okay, I'll see you later. How long you gonna be? Oh, where you going? Where you gonna get? Oh. Oh, you won't feel it today. But tomorrow you'll feel it. Ingat ka, mahal kita. She's gonna get her first Moderna COVID vaccine. And I told her tomorrow she probably would have a sore arm. But understand, I mean, when I got to pull rank on the phone because I'm just basically tired of wasting my time talking to people about bullshit, that tells me the state of the system, man. It's very inefficient. All these computers we got, and we still got to request information via paper, via fax, email, fine. But it's just the fact that everybody trying to make money off the motherfucking system makes the system a jungle and inefficient. And the people and the user, the end user of the service of medicine, just wants all these fucking records in one place. The surgery, the thing you did here, the primary care doctor's evaluation. And when you see me, You don't always have to have a fucking office visit. Mid levels, we do a lot of shit via telemedicine now. My wife was laughing at me because I was filling out some medical forms. I said, "Let me show you something." I started filling them out. I said, "This is what the specialist wants to know about me." I said, "You see this right here? 90% of what he wants from me is simply information that I can tell him from my mouth because I'm the one filling these forms out. So what in the hell is so special about putting your stethoscope on my chest when we both know you really want to ask me these 100 questions if you know the right questions to ask, because then you can evaluate what needs to be evaluated without me coming up here 3-4 times in a month. Oh, yeah, there is the whole fact that I am a physician, and if you ask me, I might be able to tell you, what's going on. Because when I get on the phone and talk to my fellows in the community who are private owners of their practices like me, guess what happens? Boom, boom, boom. Shit happens. Just like that. No bullshit, no wasting my time, no games. I ain't got to act like I'm fucking 8 years uneducated just to appease somebody's social fucking mannerisms. Because I ain't gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. You're not gonna waste my fucking time. If I think a visit is necessary, I'm like, no, I'm not. I got shit going on in my life. I just been fucking laid up for X amount of time, and because somebody else is fucking. Because look, this is what I explained to my wife. The problem with me is that I grew up in small town America where I went to school with the doctor's son, and I knew the family's name, Lawyer Lawden, Dr. Haynes. Yeah, we all friends. We all grew up together. Andy's my same age. He's a doctor now. Hey, man, I know how it used to work. Okay? I know how it used to work. My friend's dad, who was a surgeon, knows how it used to work. I didn't have to go through 3 or 4 or 5 people who are going to act like they have my expertise because they got to assume I'm an ignorant person that doesn't know anything about their field of medicine, neurology, cardiology. When in actuality, I probably know 100 fucking million times more than they do about it. But to appease the system, I got to get on the phone. People ask, instead of taking that time and asking me how I feel, documenting that, asking me specific, have you had seizures? Have you had blackouts? Have you had chest pain? Sure. It's called a review of systems in medicine. And what I showed my wife was that most of what a doctor needs from you is just information. You make most of your diagnosis off of history. If I recall correctly, it was like 60-70% of diagnoses are made from history, 20 to 25% by physical examination, which most people don't know how to do anymore, and 5 to 10% by just doing random ass labs or focused laboratory work. So since I know this, I know information is what you really want. So just get it. Get on a secure, download the software, get that. Look, my practice will have telemedicine. My little sole proprietorship, little Poe Negro doctor, walk-in clinic here in Billings will have a telemedicine component. So if the problem is real lightweight and you got the intelligence to know that, we can do this on the phone. I can bill over the phone. I can bill some insurances, not yet, but it'll happen. It'll happen for a reasonable fee. I save you the motherfucking trouble of having to walk into them clinics, wait fucking all day long to get asked 3 or 4 questions that you could have asked me over the phone. Since we know in medical school, 60-70% of the diagnoses are made by history taking, me asking you questions. That means the bell curve is in your favor. If you ask the right questions, if you know the right questions to ask, we can streamline this process, right? That's how it works, man. And that's why you guys are losing. You're losing something right now in America. The OGs in medicine, the skilled sages that can ask 3 fucking questions and make a diagnosis. We're getting older. And what's replacing us are people that have a more technical approach towards medicine. They're technicians. They are professionals, but in the continuum, okay, they're what I consider entry-level professionals. And the ones that I know that have done it for long periods of time, who have backgrounds in ICU medicine, nursing before they were nurse pracs. I don't really know any PAs anymore. They function well in acute care settings. But they're being underutilized sometimes in clinics. What are you doing? Doing a bunch of scut work that ain't necessary. When they need to be interviewing patients, talking to patients, taking down information. If everybody is so concerned about missing something, learn statistics, learn math, learn which questions to ask because you know which problems can arise. That's called diagnosis and prognosis. If I know which problems might arise, I know which questions to ask to predict based on a statistical model whether I need to put hands on you or not, send you to a specialist or not. You know, I mean, this is not a new art form, science. Medicine is old. Imhotep, Egypt, Hippocrates, Greek. The principles via which we gather information by the scientific method has been established by the Greeks long before America decided to become a country. But when you take those principles and you put on top of them this almighty need to get paid, which is fine. I'm gonna get paid too. But you know, we deal with that when we deal with it. The first thing is I don't want to waste your time. I mean, look, when I called my specialist, my cardiologist, and told him what I needed, I got what I needed in 15 minutes as opposed to days and days talking to the other primary care doctor for one or two reasons. One, we're both completely fucking retarded, don't know what we're talking about, are willing to put me in danger, sending me back to an unsafe environment, which if it's unsafe, you know, maybe America needs to change the laws and say doctors can't work in hospitals 10, 11, 12 fucking days in a row without sleep. I'm just saying. You got OSHA out here, but you make all these exceptions for doctors because you want to live an unhealthy lifestyle and have access to doctors. You can't have your cake and eat it too. You got to either piss or get off the pot, man. Are you real or are you not real? Are you just playing games? You know, insurance companies. What's that all about? I need assurances. Assurances sounds a hell of a lot like insurance to me. And that's all this country's turned into. Give me some guarantee. Give me an insurance. Give me some give me some reason to believe this is not going to come back to bite me in the ass. And I'm just saying, that's not what motivated me to become a doctor, man. It's not. What motivated me to become a doctor was a love of science and human beings simultaneously that developed into my profession because of my altruism over the years that I have developed via intellectual and what you would consider spiritual practices. Now, I ain't perfect. I get on the phone with people and I basically piss most of them off if we talk any period of time and they don't know how to make things efficient. I'm getting less and less tolerant of that because really what I want to do is say, let me just go take my time out of my day, go to each one of these hospitals for you, gather all the records up, put them in front of you, and say, now what else do you need to know to whatever? Sign off on what I need. Get me, what's up, Sugar Book? Oh my God, Sugar, I didn't even see you. You right below my son. Namaste, sister. I'm talking about old school medicine versus new school medicine. That's all. That's all. Look, man, here's the deal. People can say what they want and talk all the shit and say we're assholes because, you know, when we're the patient, we think we know everything. Here's the thing. We do. We do. You spent 30 fucking years doing the same thing since you were 5 years old. You get to the point where it's not even a job anymore. It's just fucking intuition for you. That's also developed. And it's allowed that I use my intuition either in medicine or spirituality. And you better hope my intuition is highly developed. Because if not, you may die. You may die from me overlooking something, having to ask a lot of wrong questions to miss the point. Me, you know, putting on the facade that I'm fairly look, look, you know, fairly well read, competent, et cetera, et cetera. But look, if you ask me right now, my knowledge base as a doctor at age 52, what was it like compared to when I was a doctor, shit, 17, 22, graduate school, 24. So I was like 28, 29 years old when I was officially a doctor. Okay. I had done my first year of residency, taken my United States medical licensure exam, part 3. After you pass 3 of these exams, I don't know how many the other people take. We take 3 to just to get out the gates. 3 national medical board exams. Oh, I'm sorry. And this little thing called the MCAT you got to take before you get admitted to medical school. Right? So after all of that, yeah. 28, 29 years old. After 6 years in the fucking military as a medic running a battalion aid station, advanced training in chemistry, which last I checked, pharmacy pretty much is medicinal chemistry, so that's useful. It's just, I mean, this corporate shit, man, it's turned into an inefficient monster. And it's all being rolled back on the patient. It's all, you come in 3 times or you get charged for some minor thing that an MD would look at and say, boom, 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 or just give you the diagnosis and say this is a treatment. These extra steps in between are making the patient's life difficult. And I'm sorry, patient means I got some ailment you're supposed to be helping me with. And if all you're doing is upset me over the phone because you want to call me, by my first name, I don't fucking know you. So it's doctor, okay? I don't know you. You a healthcare professional. We work in the same hospital. Yeah, I'm a patient, but you can't change that. That's respect. If I was a, reverend or something like that you knew, you say whatever, Reverend Ike, whatever the title is. And I can even let that one go because people just don't know etiquette and manners no more. They don't know. They don't give a fuck about it, because especially when I talk to certain groups, females usually. I ain't gonna say who, but certain groups of females. As soon as y'all think I'm flexing, boy, y'all pop the fuck off, dude. Quick. Hold on now. Hold on now, boy. Think you a cowboy? Summon this motherfucker? And by that time, I'm usually like, everybody's being, this thing about medical professionals. We can not agree with each other and still be cordial. It's rare that it turns into really like hang up the phone, fuck you. I've never experienced that. That does happen with other professions, if I call them, but usually not. Sugar. Sugar already know what I'm talking about. What's up, OB? I'm talking about my experience as a patient. A doctor talking about being a patient. So you know this is good shit, right? But I'm gonna tell y'all what's gonna happen. If you wanna play games with us on the phone and waste my motherfucking time doing the same shit that I did 2 weeks ago, and if you don't want to do your job and get the fucking records, and if you can't get me in to see the specialist after a month of being completely fucked up, having near seizures, and having to get my nurse prac friends. That's why, hey, number love for nurse pracs, man. I'm pausing here for a reason to let you know that I'm not here to bash mid-level providers. I was an Army medic. The PA, Dr. Chief Pitts from the Shreveport Veterans Hospital, took me under his wing. I was a zealous young buck that had a good basic science background, but I didn't know a lot of medicine. And looking back, I didn't ask dumb questions. I answered his questions based on my knowledge of physiology and anatomy, and I answered them at the level of a medical student looking back. I remember certain conversations we had, and he would say something, I would be like, da da da. He's like, oh, okay. But the military and mid levels, that's an old relationship. That's a beautiful relationship because you're dealing with acute care, young, healthy men, battlefield injuries, chronic old soldier problems. So it's a good balance. It's a good balance, I think. I was supposed to go to PA school in the National Guard. And then you good old boys gave my PA slot away to a cook who had no pre-med training. You know, do we really need to do this, America? Do we really need to do the dance of Negro tell me why you so pissed off all the time? Because y'all try to run this courtroom type of shit like, oh, you know, I'm always wrong for being pissed off because I'm not playing this fucking social game or this corporate game. And I don't give a shit about that at all. I care about when a patient comes in the hospital, I want them to get exactly the same level of care that I would want for myself. That's it. And efficiency in gathering information and records and minimizing the number of times a patient has to physically come back to sit around all fucking day to get asked 2 or 3 dumbass questions that you can ask me over telemedicine. What's wrong? What's wrong? Everybody got a motherfucking iPhone now. Why is it taking the medical establishment so long to get mediocre level systems in place that are integrated so that you can save time? Since you're going to be a socialist system anyway in the future, come on. Come on, man. Just quit playing fucking games, man. It's going to be a socialist fucking system in the next 20, 30 years anyway, with 50%, 40%, 30% of people getting most of their care from some centrally government controlled fucking thing, right? Can't you get the infrastructure to support that? Or are you going to spend all your time, you know, well, we know what happened with the Obamacare and the computer systems. All the people that were bidding for the work got knocked out. It came down to Cerner and one other. It's another company. I can't think of the name of it. I don't use that computer system. How many really good systems got knocked out because what? Cerner and the other system, the people knew each other? I don't know. I'm asking a question. Why were they better when they obviously, from my usage of these systems, have a lot of work that needs to be done? I can't even send electronic pharmacy over to the pharmacies near me. That's supposed to be one of the most basic things in the system, right? But I'm wasting my time, you know, calling the computer people, and they like, well, here we go once again. Doctor, did you do this? Doctor, did you do that? I ain't no motherfucking computer software information system person. I built the motherfuckers when I was young. I programmed them a little bit. Video games. I've spent a lot of money on my own personal computers. I know more than the average person, but I have no fucking idea why your prescriptions won't go through your fucking computer. Okay? So don't waste my fucking time when I'm sitting there trying to get that time to the goddamn patients and not deal with the bullshit of doing your motherfucking job. This is the shit, man. Y'all don't understand. This is what got me mad. This is what got me mad. Yeah, sometimes y'all need to hear it from the horse's mouth. Now I've been on the patient side quite a bit lately and the doctor side. And I'm telling you, the whole thing is inefficient. And this whole thing about not training the next generation of doctors as efficiently as you train my generation, blood, sweat, and tears, everything has a trade-off. What's that young resident gonna do when he's in a rural hospital in Montana, day number 6 of his rotation, and that Native American reservation he's on has 2 or 3 car wrecks? I got a trauma meeting at the end of this week, actually, with the state, because I'm the trauma director at my hospital. But what's he gonna do? You gonna tap out? You gonna walk off the job? You gonna lose your mind? What you gonna do? You couldn't do that shit on the battlefield, that's for sure. You know, I'm sorry. Combat medics ran back into the fucking bullets to drag people off the battlefield. The most Purple Hearts awarded in Vietnam, from what I heard, in the Army, were the combat medics. You can confirm that fact. I don't give a shit because I know the way I was trained and I know what was required of me in the military as a medical person. There was a reason they call us doc, even when we only have the level of training of an EMT. Your title will forever be doc. It's just a sign of respect. Paid for in blood by my other brothers in arms who were medics before me, who took a fucking bullet, dragging people off the battlefield, doing their job. That's where the title of respect comes from. So, I'm sorry if it's inconvenience to people to give us the respect that we earn. It's some socialite bullshit I'm supposed to know how to do. I ain't really social. Y'all can tell, like, I'm really kind of rough around the edges. I just have a big heart, and I use my mind the most efficient way that I can, okay? But the system itself is turned into fucking trash. And if you want the best of the best in this country, motherfuckers like me, who, as OB already told you, could have joined fucking Mensa, so I could have been a fucking engineer, chemist, chemical engineer, aerospace industry. Man, oh fuck, there's so many things I could have done. I chose this profession because of my desire to help people. Period. Period. It's the love of science, love of helping people. That's it. There's no other reason that I went into medicine. It wasn't because my poor black southern mother didn't have the resources to feed the family, so I struggled through. No, fuck that shit. That's what I wanted to do. That was my calling in fucking life. I had a gift in it, and I chose to dedicate my life to a field that eats its fucking young like Tic Tac, spits they fucking bones out in the trash, and say, come on with the next batch. Look, man, it's as simple as this. You want to have a standard in this country of saying you're the best, the most professional, the most, social etiquette. You got a long fucking way to go, man. We got a long way to go. We borrow from every country in the world our talent pool. That at this point, I think probably far exceeds our own talent pool. Most of the doctors that train me in my program, like East Indian, Middle Eastern, African. Let me see. Yep, she was Indian. Yep, he was Middle Eastern. I mean, this shit happened a long time ago, man. But the social thing. An East Indian doctor in India would not in 100 fucking lifetimes ever address his senior a certain way. How do I know this? Because I trained and have friends from East India. Trained with and have friends from East India. America, it depends. If somebody right out of training is zealous and looks a certain way, and they got that look, and they got some title behind their name, we can tell. We can tell because I came from a system whereby I had to wanted to recognize, especially because of my military background, the respect that my seniors and attendings deserved. It wasn't a question, man. They had already earned it. It was easy for me to see what level they were at. What do I look like? I mean, I wasn't the kind of person that was going to just run up in there and start saying a bunch of dumb shit, questioning their skill level. But the way mainstream America plays you, and this ain't nothing about the race card. This is what America is right now. Because when people can't connect with you on a higher level of wisdom, professionalism, altruism for others as the main, and here's the deal. Here's the deal. You can tell me all day that's your main motivation to go into medicine. I don't know that. I honestly don't know. I will make that assessment after I've known you for 2, 3, 4, 5 years. And it's funny, like if I don't see, I'm gonna say non-black doctor for a while, and I come into the hospital and I run across you after 20, 30 years. If the first thing you ask me is some completely dumb shit, and I'm your senior, older than you, was doing it before you, well, what do you think I'm gonna think in my fucking mind if I'm an intelligent person who actually does care two shits about spirituality, humanism? I'm going to accept what you're throwing at me because that is part of my training, right? To learn to deflect those, you know. Oh, but we see them. We see your attempts to grasp what level we're at, so you can immediately put yourself on that same or exceed that level, regardless of age, regardless of training, regardless of anything. Just because this is real, this is America. You know, I don't know. Maybe y'all feel like y'all got a pool of motherfuckers like this out there that's inexhaustible, so you don't give a shit about the people that actually do it from the heart, 100%. Because you got a pool of these corporate ass types that's going, look, man. If you didn't earn it, don't say it. I don't say I'm a cardiologist. I'm not. Okay. I have advanced training in cardiology as an internist and advanced training in emergency medicine because I spent my whole fucking life, 20 years, moonlighting and working in emergency rooms more than in internal medicine clinics and med-surg wards. So, but as you can hear, I have a pretty interesting resume. Includes training in fucking music, blah, blah, blah. 3+ years of music training, physics, postgraduate studies in physics, theoretical physics, actually, string theory, actually. I don't have to come out here and flex with nobody. The flexing was done like years ago, man. I flexed to myself. What am I capable of understanding in nature, in God's universe? That's what that was about. If you want to know the motivation behind the people you consider to be really gifted doctors, I guarantee you, the best of the best, the motivation ain't got shit to do with starting a big company, impressing a whole bunch of fucking people. It's gonna be something to the effect of, I cannot I cannot function in reality without trying my best to improve my condition by understanding that this reality. And since I'm a biological organism, first and foremost, what's the natural approach going to be? To understand, I keep telling my wife this. What's on the top of the Greek temples? The Greek temples? Know thyself. The Greek, Egyptian, I think it was Greek. I mean, people don't know what that means. I know I'm fucked up. That's the only difference in me and everybody else. I know I'm fucking hot-headed, angry motherfucker sometimes. Cuss like a goddamn sailor. You know, arrogant sometimes. Well, oh, goddamn, I know myself. So there's hope, right? So I ain't really trying to raise the bar too fucking far. It's just like, do you know yourself? And do we have the same goal? Since in this role, I am the patient, I'm just saying, I am the motherfucker who's laid up because you don't know what's going on in my house, right? you know, so we ain't got to play, cock and dick here. Because the goal is always supposed to be get me fucking better. Is the conversation centered around that? If not, you got a problem. You, the patient. Because these corporate motherfuckers out here are bots. B-O-T-S. Bots. That's what they are. You got good bots, you got bad bots. That's it. You got people that pull themselves out of the bot matrix sometimes, but they are few and far between. It requires a great amount of insight to pull yourself out of the bot fucking matrix. Because America is real good at making bots. This country is outside of what other countries would be better than America? I don't know what communist Russia is like. Communist China. How can I forget that? Outside of communist China, this is the best country as far as producing bots. What is a bot? A bot is a person that's a technician masquerading as an advanced trained professional who does not possess the knowledge base, intuition, skill, or time in profession of the professional whose job they're doing, but because America cannot fill its medical schools, internal medicine, and family practice residencies, and every other medical subspecialty like hem-onc, nephrology, cardiology, endocrinology. I said nephrology, hematology, oncology. I said that one. Aerospace medicine, actually, which I was thinking about doing, but we have to fill in the blank somewhere. Well, goddamn, this is what America does. Put a fucking dude on the foxhole. I don't give a shit. This is what America does. Get your ass in the foxhole. OB, you'll like this one. Thich Nhat Hanh in the book Living Buddha, Living Christ talked about the monk who did the immolation, set himself on fire in protest of the Vietnam War. And what was profound for me was that he actually knew the guy, read the letters he had wrote, basically stating that because they don't have access to media, TV, film, radio, the people need a great demonstration, a great catalyst for them to see the truth of what's going on both sides. I'm paraphrasing. This is what he said. And that the motivation was not out of hatred, but love, pure love for making that type of sacrifice. You see, those type of people, those are my gurus. Those are my big brothers, fathers, teachers. Because I understand that most people are not aware of how much energy they devote to keeping self comfortable, unperturbed, cozy, and brain functioning at the minimal possible level required to get the job done. The great companies went above and beyond, always. Not just what's on the paper. I got to do this and I got to do this because I'm a bot. No, 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 no. What's really going on with you? That's the conversation that companies that are great, corporations, companies, private practices, private individuals, those are the conversations. The shit that nobody wants to say, but two people that are high-ranking professionals will say, that's the shit that makes companies great. When you don't know that as a company, you are doomed. You are doomed. I don't care if you're a hospital. I don't care if you're an automobile manufacturer. I don't care if you're dude on the side of the road selling lechon and eggs in Quezon City, Philippines, with no license. But you got good food though. See? And so the real struggle is that each one of us has ego and has wants and needs, usually grossly magnified out, far from what's necessary, especially in a country like America. But we all have them. And that mind state is the one that is constantly clashing with, can I do a little bit more to make your day bright? Mr. Drunken Monk. The hell with me. You just had a motherfucking hard arrest, died, went to the other side, came back, was fucked up. Lucky to be able to provide for your family at all. But miracles just pop out of people's asses in America, you know. We take them for granted. The miracle of me being in a goddamn lily white city as a black fucking professional for 20, 30 years, yeah, take that for granted. Somebody gonna come through the gate sooner or later, right? Bodhisattvas and saints just pop out of the Buddha's ass, right? There's no affirmations or dedication or understanding and wisdom. It's complete selflessness that has to happen to create that level of human being. And if we're not that level of human being, we're not being of the greatest, highest level of benefit. Now, look, I ain't saying I exercise right speech all the time. Because if people push me and I see what needs to be done, I push back. Actually, I'm pretty nice. Because what I said on the phone was this. I think I said something to the effect of, while you wasting my time calling me, asking me about all these appointments, you understand that I know you know I'm a professional. I know you know I'm a doctor because you're sitting there looking at my paperwork. I said, do you seriously think I need somebody to remind me all the time of my hospital appointments? Because I'm looking at the motherfucking calendar right now, and I know what every single appointment is. I said, and what I really said was, I'm sorry, I thought that's what doctor meant. That level of professionalism. You know, you are going to lay on the table and let me put you to sleep, and you're going to die, and I'm going to take your heart out, fix it, put it back in. That requires a great level of respect. Is that respect in America based on naivety and ignorance? Only you can answer that question. Because I don't know what country I live in no more. I'm trying to figure it out. Because honestly, like, these low level, you know, when I had problems a month ago when I was dying. I ain't got no problems today. But after all the miracles happened, let's see, me not dying on the road, my team resuscitating me being put on fucking ice for a while, waking up with no brain damage, still being able to function at 98%, more than adequate to do what's necessary in my job. After all those miracles happen, which have nothing to do with the medical profession at all, that's just what happened, then the medical profession can jump in with good technicians. But after that, that's when we fall apart. Because there's something called long-term relationships with patients that have to take place. And when you popping me from PA to nurse practitioner to this to that, doc, you can't get this specialist because you don't have one because your city's low on cardiologists and neurologists, right? This is the shit. This, along with the excessive billing process from insurance companies that are making young people not go into medicine anymore. They don't want to do it. And I know we don't necessarily care because we still have good, decent Mayo Clinic, golden hand surgeons. But one day, man, our kids, older people, right now, our kids really, and us later in life, we're going to inherit. I have inherited this system, this inefficient system that's based on pushing paperwork, pushing computer buttons around. I mean, medicine is extremely technical. And most of the shit that I'm dealing with as a patient is this non-technical, simple-ass bullshit that's got to do with scheduling and information flow. That's your shit, man. Get your computer systems fixed so you can transfer information back and forth. Every time Mayo Clinic calls a person for surgery, he ain't gonna be a advanced trained internist in cardiology. So that means you're not gonna get all the information from the horse's mouth. So you got to get on the phone, and the fax machine, and the emails, and the e-faxes, and get that information and films, and ultrasounds, and echocardiograms, and stress tests, heart caths, all of that shit. You got to get that information in front of you, man. And based on really just talking to the patient, once you got the information, you should be able to come up with a sound medical decision. Because when I called my cardiologist, he did not ask me to come to his office for another goddamn physical that is not going to really be more than, 5 fucking minutes of you poking around on me with your stethoscope? I mean, because most of the decisions happen here based on history. Physical is secondary, as I told you before. Laboratory tests, yeah, we need them, but they are just confirmatory for what you find out with history and physical taking. That's how it works. If you know what you're doing. Otherwise, you do what we did to the food pyramid and flip it upside down. Now we got all this testing taking place, very little communication, half-ass history, but I gotta know what questions to ask based on what problems. Okay? So medicine is the food pyramid flipped upside down. Everything is like computers and all this bullshit, waste of time, data input so they can bill. And then finally, you get to what really matters. Like, okay, what's going on with you today, right? And the patients push it towards labs and tests and things like that. It's like, that's not. No, we talked about my condition. We all knew the history of what I have because I'm not the new egg. This is an old condition. So we should know the natural history. We should know what risk, my prognosis. We should know that based on the fact that a diagnosis has been made. So I don't know, man. I don't know. All I can do is, I do what I can out here to get people to go independent and put up independent clinics so people have more access than just corporate America. But it's hard, man, because people are scared. They're scared to do it on their own. It's been that way for a long time, man. A long time. That just shows you the starts of socialism. Okay? This is how communism starts, man. I'm telling you, my dad died indirectly and directly took a bullet from a communist. This is how it starts. Can't nobody do shit without the corporations. And you, the outlier, because you want to do it independently. You're the Lone Ranger, right? But I really, man, look, I would have loved to practice in 1960s and 70s and 80s and work with really, really gifted, talented primary care doctors, family practitioners, and just see. I did get to witness that in Montana. Ooh, I can feel the effect now. Well, it's in your mind. But I got to work with rural, Western primary care physicians. And they told me the stories, how they did all the orthopedic surgeries. They did all the primary care. They did all the OB, C-sections. It's really impressive when you see the skill of one or two physicians in a community for 20, 30 years hold the community together because they dedicate themselves to having a broad skill set, not just pushing buttons in a goddamn computer, asking a bunch of stupid ass questions that ain't got nothing to do with my problem. Yeah, they really became part of the community. And they were generalists, and those are the people that really formed my whole vision of what medicine is. Old surgeons, old family practice doctors who weren't old when I met all of them, but I seen them get older, seen them function in the community and give just the highest level of care and professionalism and make themselves available. You know, it wasn't all this go through the fucking gates and the gatekeepers to get to the people. You might see them in a damn grocery store. And generally, nurses and doctors don't want to talk about your whole medical history in the grocery store, but that still changes the dynamic of the relationship when people know you on that level. You see me at the basketball game with my kid. You see me on the golf course. You see me in the clinic, and I just sit down and talk to you. And we figure out, we plan things, we do what's necessary. If I can't get the job done, I send you to somebody who can. And it's done in the most efficient manner possible, money being a secondary factor, because either you're going to get a bill or insurance is going to pay. But the ability to, this is what I told my wife. I said, look, when I was working up in the High Line, Northeast Montana, we were the cardiologists, we were the neurologists. I said we couldn't do nephrology completely because we couldn't dialyze people. So if you needed dialysis in the next few days, I had to fly you out. We did the trauma in the emergency rooms. I remember watching my surgeons doing emergency tracheotomies on people. I had people come in my emergency rooms, minor injuries, completely paralyzed from the neck down, couldn't breathe anymore because once your neck gets messed up, C3, 4, 5, your lungs, your diaphragms don't work. I've seen it. I've seen all of the babies coming in with no prenatal care, the mothers fucking bleeding to death because the placenta won't come out. I've seen all this shit. Gunshots, girls sticking knives through the fucking necks of their boyfriends. And then I'm sitting there like, oh shit. And the problem is that that type of physician is a dinosaur in America. The last ones like me and the ones that came before me are probably in their 50s, 60s. My wife just told me today, she said, so what are you going to practice about 8 more years? So already, you can feel it coming. It's like, okay, there's a new day coming and I ain't going to fucking be in it. Except in my house shoes on the golf course. But you can't express to a young person what's necessary to become the highest level of professional, the highest level of humanity, which is what is necessary in medicine. That always seems to be secondary, from what I can tell. It's like people want to, they get the title, and then it's like automatically you get this whatever. But when my own colleagues see me in the hallways and they want to talk about bullshit, and then when I tell you I just died, it's like a passing fucking, oh, by the way, good luck with that dying thing. I'm not, I can't make this shit up, man. I can't make this shit up. Why in the fuck would anybody with any sense in their head want to deal with a fucking country and a system that is this narcissistic, this, yeah, sugar, younger than me. I was already OG before you came here. because you had just graduated from medical school, and I'd already worked on the high line as a GP for 3, 4, 5 years before you ever saw me, and came out of school with your breath wet full of milk. But now, it's kind of like, oh, good luck with that dying thing. He didn't say it like that, but pretty much that's what he said. There's a problem there. Because I'm a human being. You're assuming my basic humanity is not as important as this other bullshit. So if you're doing that with me, you're doing it with yourself. If you're doing it with yourself, you're doing it with your patients. I don't know, because I'm not your fucking patient. But this is how it works. If we're a bit thoughtless when we're dealing with people that we know and have some connection to, and were trained as well as or better than we were, come on, man. America knows what its problem is. You guys wanted to recreate the British fucking system of Lord, Duke, fucking King, and all this other bullshit over here. That's what you wanted. And now you got all these motherfuckers out here. Manesh, I was going to go into physics or chemistry, bro. And sometimes I fucking wonder. It's only that the compassionate part of me sees medicine as the highest technical skill level that I can have for what I want to offer humanity, which is relief of suffering, because that included training in psychology and spirituality. America doesn't want presidents like me, man. I mean, I like Joe. He's doing good stuff right now. I would love to be the Secretary of Health, Human Resources, or the Surgeon General. But I have a feeling that I would also run into the same bullshit on a higher level. I'm pretty sure that's what would happen. And then I would probably get put in jail, shot. Somebody with black pajamas come to my window at night and cut my throat. Something really bad would happen. At least would be I would lose my job. Y'all see Dr. Cornel West. Dr. Cornel West went back to the black system. Isn't he the over Howard University? Dr. Drew. I gotta check out Dr. Drew. Because I'm blank. I'm pulling a blank right now. But I mean, you see the problem, man. You see the problem in the system. I I think they want us all to get frustrated and become socialists. I'm serious. That's really what I think. I think they want the middle class to say fuck it, just take it and make me just give me something, and they want the rich to fucking ante up more than they've been anteing up because they were smart. They knew this day was coming, so they sacked away as much shit as they could, and the people who are in the poverty class, they just trying to survive out here, right? Oh, Manesh, you already know, Rusty. Bloated and corporate control. Yeah, the problem is when they get on the phone with other doctors, I'm pretty sure I'm not the only doctor in America who's a patient right now who has had, let's just say, real terse, succinct conversations with the clinics that they're going to. Okay. It's really wonderful speaking more than one language, having a huge vocabulary, because I can insult people using really pretty words like terse and succinct. And what I really want to say is we were both being assholes because we're both frustrated. Because I understand that nurse was doing her job. I understand that she's not tasked with, nor has the ability, the authority, or skill to get everything that I think she needs, all my records and shit in front of her, with the fucking PA, nurse prac, or doctor, you know, who's asking me to come back in one more time. Why? I don't want to come in no more. I'm tired. I don't want to fucking come to that hospital no more. Listen to me. I'm fine. If you don't believe so, then you know what? I'll yield to the fucking expertise of my colleagues who are medical doctors. Since it's understood that at this level, I'm not going to speak falsehoods for my own benefit. If I feel sick and see a problem, I'm going to tell you. But you know, you want to play the games, go to the hoops. I don't think there's supposed to be a system. I honestly think we're an invasive species that are just holding on to as we can. It's funny. But what is your generalization of East Indian doctors versus white doctors? I learned a lot of cardiology from my East Indian doctors. I remember Vivekananda. I remember Subrahmanyan. Some of these names, Subrahmanyan, Vivekananda. What's up, my brothers? And the fact that I've studied Hinduism and Buddhism for quite a while now has probably given me a love of my East Indian brothers. I recall as a resident, the only resident that was ever nasty to me was a black Nigerian brother who I was actually cool with. The other Nigerian doctor, we to this day keep in touch. But this one was a bit nasty towards me. And I'm like, do we want to throw hands? Because, I'm a black American. I'm like, what's that? This motherfucker want to throw hands? Like, you bigger, bro, but, that's how I got. Like, don't think I'm going to go out easy, bro. It ain't going to be no easy battle. Day 0 to day fucking last day. It ain't going to be no easy battle, bro. You just get ready. Get ready. So I was like, damn, the East Indian residents usually were more quiet. They wouldn't give you information unless they thought you were a hard worker and you had done some reading on your own. And then they would help you, teach you, which is, I'm ex-military. Why would I have a problem with that system being like that? If you lazy and you ain't reading shit, you coming in not knowing your patients, then ain't nobody gonna spoon feed you at that level. It's not gonna happen. If you want to know something, you have to seek that knowledge out. I had to go and seek out extra training in cardiology because I desired it. It was nobody, Yeah, I mean Vivekananda was extreme. Well, this is what I heard about the East Indian doctors. A lot of them, like Vivekananda, apparently in his country in India, there was a clinic named after him, and they come. A lot of those guys came to America already with skills in the cath lab, pacemakers, balloon pumps, cardiac critical care. They already had the skill, so they were going through a fellowship here in America to be able to make a living here at what they already had done in India. So I kind of figured out, like, some of them, even the ones that weren't previously scientists or doctors or had done residency, they were just extremely well-read, sharp brothers, man. The females too, sharp, always. I understand India has a caste system, and I understand that when you get sent into this country from a certain family to practice, you're not going to bring dishonor to yourself or your family, and so you're going to function at the highest level that you can. I have always seen that the East Indian residents were always hardworking. There might have been some that weren't. Even the ones I thought that were goofy, they're great doctors right now. They're great doctors right now, man. You know, I mean, most of the time, if you meet a black physician like me that went to historically black colleges, it's like people don't understand our professors, man. Our professors were a lot of them African American males, man, and they were very caring, very embracing of the students, right? But when you came into that room, man, and it was morning report, it's time to present them patients, and what you did overnight when everybody was asleep, you ain't got no friends, bruh. You ain't got no friends. This is the scientific method on display. What did you do? Why did you come to the conclusions that you came to? What do you know about the diseases you're talking about? And what did you do for the patient? And what is the outcome? And I might, throw some jabs at you because I know you don't know this. because this is probably some advanced level fellowship information that you ever had time to learn, but it doesn't matter because if it's relevant to the case, I'm going to throw it out there and make you look completely stupid if you don't know it. So, you know, I held my own in residency, man. I remember one morning we had a difficult case, and the white male attending turned around and said to the whole room, he looked at me and he said, "That man right there, because he figured this case out, he's the smartest man in this room right now." And everybody just got quiet, dude. And I was looking like, "Oh, really?" Because all I did was, you know what I did? Everything that I was complaining about in the beginning. I took all the information that all the specialists had written up on the patient, and the patient I think had amyloidosis, which is an extremely rare disease. Still don't know for sure if they had it, but I think they did. And I've sat day after day after day after day for 4 days reading those fucking charts until I knew everything that they knew about that patient. And the things that I didn't know, I had to go back and research certain disease processes that I didn't know. That's how you learn in medicine, period. Hands on, man. Sit your ass down there until your eyes are bloodshot red and your patient probably sleep because the Johnny Carson show done already went off and you still sitting there pouring through them charts trying to figure out information about your patient because you've already spent days with the patient. They know you, they like you, you're probably cordial with them. That's how it works, man. And if it's something hands-on need to be done, you had to do it. When you was a resident, you put in your central lines. I floated my Swan-Ganz catheters. I had to deal with. I never forget a patient I had that I did to another patient what was done to me when I was a resident. I was up all night with somebody who kept going into a cardiac arrhythmia. He kept dying. I kept shocking him, giving him medicine, and the sun came up, and I was like, the attendings came back, and I was like, shit, he's still alive. He's like, good job, you know. He goes, you know, we take ACLS, and BLS. So it was like, oh shit. But that's when I knew, man. After that night, I remember that case. I said, oh, the shit is real in the field, baby. Like, you better learn every freaking thing you can before you leave this place. Everything you can. That was my mind state. And that was the mind state, I think, of most good, caring, skilled physicians. The spiritual path requires skill, and it requires compassion, wisdom, and compassion, man. If you lack it in either area, the outcome, the suffering may be minimal, it may be more. We're all blind in some areas. I take full responsibility for anything in my life that got me where I'm at right now, whether it be physical, spiritual, or mental. Okay? But I don't tolerate a lot of fucking disrespect and ignorance. I might call people out on it, man. You know? If you don't want to call me doctor, that's fine. I ain't got no problem with that. I don't give a fuck if you do or don't, okay? That's simple as that. Because I got it up there on the fucking wall, hanging. And it's recorded in Nashville, Tennessee, in the fucking tomes that I came through these fucking halls, baby. I came through these fucking halls. I came through the 3 sashes on the fucking arm. I got those. 3 motherfucking sashes. Three chevrons. The best job I ever had while at medical school. Working for East Indians at hotels that they owned. Again, they treated me extremely nice. They knew I was in medical school though, so I was they knew I was in medical school. They knew that was a side job. But it don't matter. It don't matter. Always nice to me. Always treat me with respect. Gave me my breaks. The East Indian guys would give me pompadog to chew. It's that beetle nuts. I'll put it in my. I walk around. My teeth were all black and shit. Yeah, it's some good shit. I be fucking cutting hedges, mowing grass, cleaning out swimming pools. Man, Yeah, I did all of that in medical school. Work, pump it up. That's it, pump it up. Pond. I was putting that pond in my mouth bag to get that nicotine high to keep going. I tell you what, pond is much better than caffeine, but it will stain your teeth. Yeah, I wonder where I got this dot from. Huh? Man, look, man. The universe said, look, bro, you must be a black Hindu. Here you go. Ding. Just here you go. Black Hindu, Buddhist, whatever. Here, ding. Now, go learn something. Go do something good for somebody else other than your fucking self. I had just a regular one that was the nuts. You would put them in, they hard as rocks at first. Then you clunk, 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 chew them down, and then you let it soak. Then them juices, catechin is the chemical, right? It is the chemical, catechin. That's it, right? The chemical that Pompadour beetle nuts releases. It's a neurostimulant. Yeah. I think the chemical in beetle nuts is catechin. Look it up, though, because I can't remember. It's been a long time. But I think it's a central nervous system stimulant like caffeine. It felt like it was, but it's mild. Kind of like tobacco and caffeine, if you do it in moderation. And I really actually enjoyed it. And I actually do have somewhere in this house right now, I have a can of Pompadour. It's somewhere. It might be up. I haven't. It's an old can, and you might not want to chew it too much because it's probably dry as hell. Yeah, I know because their teeth turn black. But I was like, yeah, drugs. Give me some of that. Oh man, doctors are all about experimenting. Alchemists, man. Yeah, yeah. Thank you very much, Manesh. Thank you very much for mentioning that one. 'Cause I always forget that one because we don't chew Pompadour in America. We got oral cancer from cigarettes and cigars. But yes, it does cause oral cancer. You must have to do it for a long ass time to get that though. You must have to chew Pompadour for years. Like what is it, 10, 20 years? That's what I suspected when I heard about oral cancer from Pompadour. I mean, East India is a different country, man. I just watched the Dalai Lama's documentary. He fled to India. The Dalai Lama fled to India, and India helped keep the torch alive, man. So again, you know, every day, wow. You know what, man? I'm gonna just gonna say this. Even though I know a lot of you East Indian fathers don't like your daughters marrying black men, understand this. All of us ain't fucking crazy. Some of us are educated. Some of us actually have studied your spiritual systems and have deep faith that the Dharma is truth. But if you don't sit down with the young thug with the gold teeth and the 9 millimeter, you know, you're the 180 of crazy. Hey, namaste, Vanesh. You already know, bro. Because I actually did like Jamie Patel in college, but shit, her father wasn't having the Negro. Guess who's coming to dinner, honey? That's all right, though. That's all right, because she wasn't the only East Indian girl in my residency program or in my training program. That was in college. And I'm going to just leave it at that. Big pimping, baby. Big pimping. Yeah, daddy. You saved that one, daddy. We all just trying to survive out here, you know. We try and do the right thing, and people constantly fucking with us. We fucking with ourselves, and we trying to figure out how much of each is contributing to the fuckery. And that's the real work, man. How much of it is my bullshit? How much of it is your bullshit? Some of it is just like when you work in a field that's highly, highly demanding and it requires the highest level of professionalism, you know when things don't sound or feel right. Yeah, a lot of it is that you're in a level where you're a leader now, and you have different responsibilities than the people that are not in leadership roles. But a leader is nothing than a follower who tries to figure out problems and fix them. That's it. I mean, that's it. And you're tasked with making certain changes as necessary to make the system better. Because honestly, I don't need to be leader after this round of leadership responsibilities between medical director and owning a new clinic. I'm fucking done, man. Look, I'm in the phase of my life, like the Tao Te Ching says, where I'm trying to learn about me. You know, yeah, there you go. That's it. That's it right there, man. As much as you need to suffer, wrong thoughts, wrong thoughts, wrong speech, wrong actions. Really, what I struggle with is I'm a little bit biased, knowing that I'm in a system that is so much based on colonization and the brainwashing of ethnic groups that came over here, and the mannerisms. I mean, come on, man. When young white boys don't want to give you respect, and they coming in after you, they're your juniors, but they immediately put themselves over you, or they trying their best through their speech. They know what the fuck they're doing, man. You think I don't know the fucking game? I was in the military, man, and it's like that just lowers it for everybody. Yeah, that lowers it for everybody, man. Because I'm not here to put myself over nobody. I'm here to fucking heal the sick and diagnose disease and use whatever skill level I have. What did I say? Oh, damn, I forgot what I said now. What did I say, Jeff? Hey, don't play games with me, man. Because you know I can't body slam your bitch ass in the hospital. Because if we was in the street, nigga, in East fucking Oakland, you try that bullshit, I might let it go. I don't know. But my drunk friend got choked the fuck out. Because he couldn't fucking figure out that I ain't taking but so much bullshit, man. That's it. That's it, man. I saw the Dalai Lama's documentary. Those monks were like, "Give me a gun." The Dalai Lama's like, "No." Oh, the suffering quote. Damn, now you got me trying to remember. What did I say about suffering? If you find it, read it to me. Because sometimes I need to be re-edified when these white folks out here taxing me like this. As my nose turns red. You might have white blood in you if your nose turns red and you brown. My grandfather always had a red nose like this, man. He was definitely a biracial. We can all learn, man. We can all learn. It's just that how much suffering are we going to generate before people start getting it? Before we start, before we become willing to take a little bit more bullshit from the next person. Just a little bit more, just in case what we think about them is not spot on. And we might be just dead fucking wrong completely. I'm saying this about myself. That don't mean I don't get frustrated, because come on, man, I've been dealing with this shit for 2 months. I just want to go to work and feed my motherfucking family. That's it. Yeah. Oh, then drop the man. That's it, though. Honestly, like, the thing about the spiritual aspirant, the adept who submits himself to a higher authority, when they review what goes on, like, don't think I'm not going to review in my mind every word that was said between me and that nurse. And if I find room for improvement on my end, it will happen automatically. That's called being professional. That's called being a good fucking dude. That's called being cool. That's called, I ain't a perfect person. I make mistakes too. But it's always going to be based on sat in both seats as the patient and as the doctor. And you cannot bullshit me. I know when you're doing this shit at the highest level. Because I was the one that looked at my cardiologist. I looked at my cardiothoracic surgeon and said, "What about robotic surgery?" And I like him. He's a black man. Okay? A black doctor. Two of us. Probably the only two of us in the city. I say that because when I came here years ago, there was only two doctors in the city, me and a cardiothoracic surgeon. It might be him. Honestly, I just can't remember. It's been too long. And when I told him that I had already been researching and talking to Mayo Clinic, the only thing he said to me was, drum roll please, "How can I help you make that happen, young doctor?" And he called me about a week ago, my wife said, just to check on me, make sure I was still following through. And I am, because I don't want to deal with this shit for too much longer in my life. So, doing the right thing sometimes is a convoluted process because ego is such a motherfucker. But it just be aware, man. And as many times as you fall, the righteous man will pick himself up. I don't need to be horse whipped, starved, all my income taken away and put in prison. Whatever you think corporate, white, non-white, sellout ass America, whatever you think is necessary to correct the black man, what you fail to realize is this: we spent our whole life in a system that's telling us what's correct and incorrect based on where we came from and what people think about our backgrounds, because they don't really know. They think this, especially when you leave home and go to different places, you know. Because I guarantee you that Nigerian resident that I worked with probably wouldn't have said the nasty shit that he said to me to the white doctor that I'm talking about, um, who came in after me here. Probably wouldn't have said it. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But we are acutely aware in black America that people want to take fucking liberties when it's Negro on the phone. Because, I take shit from XYZ, but from a Negro, that you think, do you seriously think that fucking attitude? The only way, the only reason people don't go completely fucking off on me is because I worked in this town for 20 something years, saved half of their motherfucking grandmama's life probably when I was younger, then went to the fucking res and did the same thing. So you know what? I got a hall pass. I got a fucking hall pass. And you can revoke it, but I got 3 or 4 more punch cards in the motherfucker. All right? Because at the end of the day, I'm just trying to figure out the right thing. And I'm trying to figure out the state of the system I work in right now. And I'm not pleased with it. I'm not pleased with it. It's not based on altruism, skill, wisdom, and compassion. It's not. We say it is, but at the end of the day, a lot of this shit is corporate pushed, money, money, money. Look, I'm not communist, but look how hard you made it in medicine for a person to even practice on their own. You've made it so hard that most people, especially these millennials out here, they are not gonna fucking do it. They are not gonna deal with lawyers and corporate rules and regulations and not making a profit for 1 or 2 years while they establish a clinic in your community. Unless you change something out here. Concierge medicine, maybe. Is it gonna fix everything wrong with medicine? No. Because medicine takes place in the community and in the hospitals. And there has to be a union, a cooperation, a relationship between the community and the hospitals. A deep a deep commitment, a deep relationship. You know, a lot of the older doctors in this town right here, they're retiring, man. I know because I went to the hospital and I seen their pictures on the wall. And they all had fancy titles that didn't include working in the clinic every day. When you see a doctor start getting those fancy titles and he's starting to do this committee stuff and advisory stuff, he ain't gonna be around in your community in that facility, in that role for much longer. He's about to go retire, spend time with his kids, if he has any, wife, if he has one, husband, if she has one, fish, travel, you know, they're gonna do them with they last 5 years of their life, 10 years. Iron fist and a velvet glove. Yeah, lies and persistence followed by adjustments based on public feedback. Yeah, but what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen is this communist shit is gonna roll up in here, and it's not gonna be called communism, but it will be. It'll be a hybrid Canadian whatever socialist medical system. And I'm gonna tell y'all right now, y'all are not gonna like it. And we told you. We fucking told you. People like me and other people, we told you the shit was coming, man. It's already happening. All of this bullshit inefficiency, right? It's coming, man. It's coming. It's coming. And the people that are the most talented in society, academically, like me, a lot of them are not po Negro children. And they're not gonna fucking go through that kind of a training program. And they're not gonna deal with making minimum fucking wage to work 80 hours a week. They're not gonna do it. And you know this. And you know when somebody speaks the truth and it's happening in society, there is a consequence. And the consequence is right now, y'all not putting out no doctors, man, in these medical schools that go into internal medicine, family practice, general practice. Not the best of the best. Not the future fucking astronauts and gold medalists. That's who you want, right? I know what y'all want. Every single one of y'all want the same goddamn thing. Give me the doctor who was a fucking Rhodes Scholar, Dean's List, academic fucking Doogie Howser genius motherfucker with the hands of God. All y'all want that. Well, guess what? That was only 2 or 3 people out of 100 in the class. And I'm gonna just go on a limb and tell you, to be successful academically, it takes emotional intelligence as well as aptitude. A lot of y'all miss that point. It takes emotional intelligence. You know, I have my moments, man, but honestly, what y'all don't see is I will go years dealing with human beings and have very little rough rides, very little waves. It's only since I became a fucking patient that I'm like, wow, this is probably one of the best things that ever happened to me. Because now I see what y'all dealing with. It's going to change the way I practice, man. The benefit of all of this bullshit that I've gone through post fucking not die. Because the most important thing was I didn't fucking die. Second most important thing, look, mom, no brain damage. You know, look, ma, fucking pacemaker. If it stops, it'll probably keep going, ma. So what the fuck are you worried about? If you know all these facts that I'm telling you, what the fuck are you worried about? It's just corporate fucking bot bullshit, man. Because you gonna put me in the same hazardous fucking environment that you took me out of. Give me an extra few weeks, but you're gonna put me back in the fucking coal mines, man. Don't act like you're not because you have to. Shit, I gotta do shit right now from home. I ain't getting paid for this shit. I ain't got paid for fucking months. That's what professional means. Doing shit that you don't get paid for because it's needed. Make no mistake about it, man. I love y'all for listening to my fucking rant, man. Sometimes we all need this catharsis of our souls because we dealing with shit that's been happening for many lifetimes. And the same shallow ass, narcissistic, ignorant, fearful, punch a baby in the eye for a motherfucking milk bottle type of motherfuckers are still predominating, running, shaping corporate and government policy in all of our countries. It shouldn't take a whole hell of a lot for you to get in to see somebody who's right down the street from you, a doctor. But all these fucking levels of corporate America, including the paperwork and all the damn hoops you got to jump through, because if you don't get paid, sooner or later, the business will shut down. So if Joe Doctor got to spend all day doing this shit to get $20, guess what? Everything is math. Everything is time. Everything is space. Too much of this, it don't add up. Using these, this, and this, that's what saves patients' lives. This is a necessary evil for information to be recorded and transferred. But our ancestors had a fallback system. It was called open your motherfucking mouth and pass information orally. When people could actually remember a list that was, hey, what are you doing? No, you making a mess, dude. Don't just stop whatever you're doing right now. Put that fucking cheese somewhere, eat it. Do not spill it on the floor. Do not spread it anymore on my table, or I will freak the fuck out of you. You understand me? Yes. Thank you. Okay. Anyway. Hey, you know, gotta love being a parent, man. I remember the days, man. You got it way easier than I had, I can tell you that. Darn. Well, you know, hey, I told you. See, let me show y'all what these American children do. You see, there's some child in the world that needs this food, and you sitting here with a fake shark mouth eating fake food, because that shark can't eat real food or fake food. See, this is America right here. See that? All this wasted ass food sitting here. That's about fucking 500 calories or 600 calories worth of shit right there. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna put this up here. You're gonna get the fuck up off of this table and go over there and not be here. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Thank you for visiting. Do come back. You know what I'm saying? You lost your motherfucking mind, boy. A fucking rubber shark? Look, I'm a Southern boy, man. I told y'all how I was raised. You will eat everything on that plate. There's no compromise. There's no compromising. So when y'all go to Nashville, you're going to see the Parthenon. It looks like this. And that's who's inside of it is Athena. And in her hand is the goddess Athena Nike. She's the winged goddess in her hand. This is a replica in Nashville. There we go. Some of y'all never seen Athena Nike. Hope y'all can see her. There she is. See the winged goddess in her hand of Athena? That's Athena Nike. And that's the Parthenon replica in Nashville. Near Vanderbilt. Shout out to Vanderbilt, Meharry. Fisk, what's up? TSU, what's up? The Parthenon. But yeah, that's what your Nike switch stands for. Excuse me. She's the goddess. Full of fucking muscle. Of victory. The goddess of victory. Let's see if I can end it on that. I like that. Because we're going to have a victory today, my Christian brothers and sisters, my Eastern Buddhist, Hindu brothers. We're going to have our victory. We're going to have our victory. Don't make no mistake about that. We shall maintain. We shall prevail. And we shall overcome. Namaste. Athena Nike, the goddess of victory. No shoes today, baby. A replica of the real deal. I wish that water level was lower. Let's see if I can. I'm trying to give y'all a good. There we go. Ooh, that's cool.